Welcome to my channel, JC Diaz Uncensored. This is JC Diaz. And how are you guys? I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving Day with, your loved ones. And I had a great Thanksgiving with my wife yesterday. We cooked some food. We did some good stuff, and it was great. I have I had to make this video for you guys because, we all know what happened with the two National Guard members who were shot by an immigrant who happened to be an ex-member of the CIA International. He was trained by the CIA and he came to the country and under the Biden administration, but he wasn't given asylum until President Trump was already president. So he was given asylum officially under President Trump, right? And this guy went out and my thoughts and prayers are going out to those two National Guard members, officers. One was a female, the other one was a male. I'm sorry for their families. I'm really sorry for everything that's happening. I hope they rest in peace, that she rests in peace, because the lady passed away. I wanted to make this video because, the president is, which I'm not surprised, he is spewing hate like he always does. And he is saying on his social media, he announced to the world that he will be banning all immigration from some countries that are on a list of dangerous countries, which all happen to be, the majority of them happen to be brown and black people. I felt the necessity to make this video because I feel like us immigrants, I'm a U.S. citizen, but I am also an immigrant, and us immigrants are being targeted, and especially by the president, we're being targeted and we are being put in danger by this president, because what he's doing is he's sending this message to his followers. Some of those, and I'm not saying all of them are the same, but his followers who will do whatever he says, the minute he says the immigrants are the bad people in this country, his crazy followers, some of them, not all of them, they're being given a green light to go out and commit atrocities against immigrants, which has been happening lately. What my concern is, the safety of immigrants is probably gonna get worse now, because he is pretty much spewing hate, saying all immigrants and immigrants' kids are not assimilating to the U.S. style and to our way of living and all that, which is not true, which is absolutely not true. Do we have some bad apples? Absolutely, we do have bad apples, but guess what? The majority of the crimes, the shootouts, the mass shootings, the crimes, murders that happen in the U.S. are committed by white males who are U.S. citizens. Yes, immigrants commit some crimes, but compared to the amount of crime that white people commit, especially mass shooting, where they go to a school or a church and they will shoot and kill 10 people, 20 people, 15 people, is committed 55% of the time is committed by white males born and raised in the U.S. My issue with this is that every time there is a shootout and it's committed by a white male, the president doesn't come out and say they are terrorists. The president will come out and say they need to be, we need to find out what's going on, because it can't be that they're doing this and doing that. But when immigrant commits a crime, which, nobody's perfect, but when immigrant commits a crime, that person is considered a terrorist. But the same is not applied for the white males who commit the crimes. When they commit a mass shootout, they're considered mental issue patients. But when an immigrant commits a crime or a black person commits a crime, they're considered terrorists. That's the big difference, and that's my problem with the hateful speech. The president is making immigrants a target when he does that, because we all know that he has some of his extreme followers who will do whatever he says. So I am going to show you guys some statistics that back up my what I'm saying about the fact that 55% of the crimes of the mass shootouts are committed by white US citizens born and raised here. 55%. But they are never called terrorists. They're called mental patients. They have mental issues. But when it is an immigrant or somebody who is brown, they're considered terrorists. So I'm going to show you guys some statistics. So bear with me while I go through this. All right. So here we go. Please give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So this is the thank you to the Rockefeller Institute of Government, and this is where we are getting our facts. So you guys can see that this is all facts based, and this is the first slide I wanted to show you. This is directly from the Rockefeller Institute of Government, and they specialize in statistics, and they submit that to the different governments, public authorities or whatever. And I just wanted to show you this. So let's go ahead with the next one. All right, guys. So the next one that we have is the mass shooting facts sheet. This is a high-level details about mass shootings from 1966 to today. Last updated November 24, 2025. Since 1966 to today, there has been 508 shootings. So that's the next one, the next slide that I have for you guys. And we're going to play the next one in a second. All right, guys. So the next slide that we have for you is the total fatalities, right? The total fatalities since 1966 to this day is 1,726 fatalities. And the total of people that have been victims to mass shootings is 4,414 people total. 4,414 people. And that's the next slide that I have for you guys. We'll play the next one next. All right, guys, and last but not least, and I believe this happens to be the most important one. This one is the mass shooters are racially, ethnically diverse, right? Though a majority are white, and I'm gonna read this to you guys. So 55% of all the mass shootouts and murders committed in this country are committed by white males over the age of 34. Okay, and then 21.3% is committed by Black or African Americans. Hispanic is 9.1%, Asian is 5.4%, and other is 5.3%. So the majority of the crime and mass shootouts committed in this country are committed by white male with the age of 34 and over, which is never talked about is never mentioned as a terrorist. Most of the time is mentioned as a mental patient or mental issues, or a person who have mental issues, born and raised in this country. So that was the last slide that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So let's move on to the end of this video. All right, guys. So that was the slides that I wanted to show you, right? And I want to give thanks to the Rockefeller Center that provided this statistic. The concern is that every time a Caucasian or a white person commits a mass shooter or a crime or a murder in this country, it is determined that it was a mental issue. When it's any other ethnicity, which they commit the least amount of crimes, they're deemed or called terrorists. If we are going to call it, we need to call it the same for everybody. We're all terrorists or all of us have mental issues. So you need to make up your mind, Mr. President, as to what's going on here. Because 55% of the mass shooters in this country are white males over the age of 34. All the other ones that I read and just showed you are the minority. But when it is a white person who commits a crime, it's usually a mental issue. When it is one of the minorities, it is determined that it was a terrorist. We are either all terrorists or we are all mental patients. Which one it is? Please make up your mind, because you are putting immigrants in danger with this rhetoric about this issue. Our people are some of the greatest people in this country. We work, we pay our taxes, we go to work, we contribute to this economy. We pay a lot of taxes in this country. And it is unacceptable that we are being blamed. You are blaming all immigrants, naming all immigrants, saying our kids, our sons don't assimilate to this culture. My son is 24 years old. He was born and raised in this country. He's a U.S. citizen. He is assimilated. And we both love this country. And we will not accept that we are being called terrorists and you are pretty much putting a hit or a target on our backs. But when it is your own people who are doing this, they're determined to be mental patients. Which one is it? This is JC Diaz, Uncensored. I had to make this video because I am sick and tired of us always having to pay the price for everybody else. I am not condoning, again, I'm not condoning what this guy did. He's a criminal. He needs to be prosecuted. But you cannot come and blame all immigrants for something that one person did when you don't blame all white people when they go out there to the churches, they go out to the schools and they do a mass shooter. I don't see you coming out and blaming all white people. But when it is immigrants, I see you coming and blaming all immigrants. You need to make up your mind. Which one is it? Are we all terrorists or are we all mental patients? It seems like lately we're mental patients. Because this is stupidity. This is what this is. This is stupidity. The low IQ in this government is out of control. The low IQ, I've never seen a lower IQ in a government other than this government. And I've seen some bad governments in my lifetime. But this has to be the lowest IQ-based government administration we've ever had in this country. To my brothers and sisters, especially Latinos, brown people, black people, we need to, stay together, stop bickering among ourselves, and we have to speak up. Because the rhetoric that's being put out there is that we're all criminals and we're all terrorists and all that. And it is not true. We're not all terrorists and we're not all criminals. I just wanted to make this video because I found it necessary to talk about what's going on. I love this country and I will fight for this country. I love my people. I love everybody, but I will not allow for us to be scapegoats to this racist president that we have in this administration. Thank you very much. This is JC Diaz Uncensored. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.